If you are a 2,000 calorie per day Dan, and you are the most basic of intro to betting, give me this spread and this spread because I saw this team and they're good and they're better than them and I'm going to bet them, I think it was a pretty good Sunday for you. That was a good Sundays for all the MegaloDANs out there. And as I've always told people, there's nothing worse for NFL bettors than when their Dan plays hit.
Hi, Dan.
Because it gives them that false sense of, well, I won on the Vikings.
Dan.
I won on the Ravens.
Dan.
The favorites can hit just like they did that day, so I have to stick with it.
Dan.
I can't reiterate this any further. If you're consistently betting spreads, money lines, I feel for you. If you're in a state that doesn't have the sports book and you have to go into your local pizzeria and the pizzeria guy is the guy who takes your bets and he only takes spreads and money lines. So I do feel for you.
What can I do for you?
But every single week, we had 2 weeks where the donkey charts reigned supreme. And as I told you the week before that, if the donkey charts reign supreme every single week, then those would be the donkey charts. The NFL has the perfect pendulum of favorites, underdogs. As soon as too many underdogs start winning, here come the favorites. It's a balance beam of screw jobs. And you're always going to end up in the red, especially if you're trying to parlay money lines and spreads. That truly is like Nightmare on Elm Street for me. If I woke up in a dream, like a Freddy Krueger dream, and I'm just seeing spreads and money lines everywhere, there is no tab for player props. Because as you see, whether it's a MegaloDAN week or it's a donkey chart week, if you're sniffing around the edges and you're finding rhyme and reason for these props, and these props offer massive opportunity, and Jordan Whittington goes from the number 3 to the number 1, and his route participation and his targets are all going up, but we're still seeing a 45.5 receiving total, then all of a sudden he crushes it with 80, and there's rhyme and reason. We're not just saying, oh yeah, this team's better than this team, and blah, 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 blah. So then why are the New York Giants, without their starting running back and best wide receiver, going into Seattle and winning? It happens way too frequently. But when you see all these opportunities, is Garrett Wilson a bum? Is he a bum? No. Brutal cornerback matchups. Finally had one that he could take advantage of. 90 yards, touchdown. It's the way to go about winning consistently, which we've done once again. 4 out of 5 weeks, we found ourselves on the right side of things. And this just wasn't any old week. This was a week that felt extra good because before the season started, right on that opening video, and before that I did a video over the summer on the Patreon. I put it out on Twitter. I said, I will Vince McMahon guarantee over 3.5 touchdowns. Are you going to say Ray Davis, like the 4th round pick that they picked this year? James Cook is the 2nd round pick, draft capital in him, 1,500 yards, upped his workload. Ray Davis. That just sounds like a name who's not going to get in the way. Oh, who'd you draft? Ray Davis? And I predicted on Twitter/X that check in with me week 5 when this is already cashed. And guess what? Week 5, it has cashed. The James Cook, my flag plant player of the year, over 3.5 touchdowns, season-long touchdown total. You don't get it better than that. I mean, 3.5 cleared by week 5. It's as simple as you like. Did you take it? Did you take it? No, because it had the word future in it, and you need that immediate gratification. So why don't we get on to the immediate gratification of Monday Night Football. We got Derek Carr, the loser himself, as I've been trying to tell you for multiple seasons now. You saw it once again. Everyone got on his back. He's 2-0. By hook or by crook, that guy is ending up right at 500. And then they added the extra game, and if it's not a tie, it'll be 8-9 or it'll be 9-8. If he starts 5-0, he'll end the season tanking, and if he starts 1-6, he'll end on a random streak and then get your hopes up, and then they'll just miss the playoffs. That is the Derek Carr experience. So I hope you're strapped in now. They're 2-2. I mean, this one could go any which way. What's the spread? What's the money line? Well, Mahomes keeps winning these games by the slimmest of margins. I think taking the Chiefs by any number more than 2.5 is a crazy proposition. But the way their defense is playing, they're just eking out these wins, and they're 4-0, despite the fact that they haven't looked. 6 touchdowns, 5 picks for Patrick Mahomes. Now, here's what I know. Pacheco went down. You remember that? Then there was Sunday night game. Oh, are we taking Carson Steele? Are we taking Samaje Perine? And they gave Carson Steele a lot of run. He didn't look that good, but they just kept feeding him the rock. It was a close game, and he ended up amassing a decent amount of yards while not looking impressive during that whole stretch. Then they signed Kareem Hunt. Carson Steele gets the opening series last week, fumbles. Kareem Hunt the rest of the way, and Kareem Hunt, who already played in Kansas City with Andy Reid, knows his system. He looked way better than Carson Steele did. They stuck to him, gave him a ton of work. I have no reason to believe they're going to steer away from Kareem Hunt when he clearly, even at the age of like 28 or 29, looks way better than Carson Steele in that role, considering the fact he's a pass catcher. He's been utilized in Cleveland and in Kansas City as a pass catcher. And as you've seen with Pacheco, McKinnon in the past, Patrick Mahomes always kind of likes to get a few passes to the running backs with some design screens. Do you see where this is going? Do you see where this is going? A lot of work for Steele against Atlanta. Why would Kareem Hunt not get a similar workload, if not more, in a game where they're supposed to be winning by 4 or 5 or 6 as they're favored by? The first thing I'm looking at here is Kareem Hunt over 10.5 rushing attempts. We saw Carson Steele, an inferior running back, get this type of workload with Rashee Rice out there. Rashee Rice was a part of that game against Atlanta. So with fewer weapons at Mahomes' disposal, probably trying to win another close game, I can see those Kareem Hunt carries really kind of piling up, which is why I obviously like his over 10.5 rushing attempts. And I like his over 41.5 rushing yards. I mean, these are extremely doable totals. The way these Chiefs have been winning this season and last season, I thought they were going to open the book up. I thought Hollywood Brown was going to be utilized on all these deep routes, and Rashee Rice was going to clean up underneath, and Kelce was going to be used sporadically. Well, systematically, they have lost every piece of this offense. They lost Marquise Brown, so now everything was short and underneath. They lost Rashee Rice. They lost Pacheco. They're doing this by running in defense now. So give me the over on rushing for Kareem Hunt and the over on rushing attempts for Kareem Hunt. But is that it? Could there possibly be even more Kareem Hunt bets? Yes, as I said, he was utilized as a receiver and as a running back a lot by Andy Reid in the first go-around. We know Andy Reid's running backs always get catches, and I think he's going to get a couple of catches as he has in the past. Now, I know he's a little bit older. I know he only played 1 week, but he looked pretty good. I'm a little worried about injury potential. That could absolutely happen for a guy who wasn't really playing, then got signed into the team, then gets thrust into a big role. I'm hoping he stays healthy enough to hit these for us, but I'm going to go with his over 12.5 receiving yards as well. It's just very tasty. I'm not worried about Steele. They've shown that they're not using Samaje Perine a ton. They've had him since the preseason at the very end, right before the first game. They haven't used him this entire time, so they're clearly not that impressed in practice with him. Maybe when Edwards-Helaire comes back in the next week or two, but for right now, I think this game is going to be the Kareem Hunt show. So give me those overs across the board on Kareem Hunt. And then, yes, the guy, I know, sometimes I'm just scared to say it. It's almost like arguing with this annoying girlfriend, one who just is not reasonable. They do not understand. Yes, I understand Travis Kelce burned you, but you gotta understand that him and Rashee Rice occupied the same exact part of the field. And if you were Patrick Mahomes, would you pass it to Kelce or would you pass it to Rashee Rice, a much younger player, way more dynamic, who can take one of those 10-yard passes and turn it into a 50-yard touchdown? Or you just dump it to Kelce, who's just going to plop down, just try to get you the first down. You're going to Rice almost every single time. Well, Rice left the last game, obviously not playing in this game, and you saw Kelce's numbers immediately start to go up. I don't want to be the one who misses the one opportunity to get Kelce in the 50s. I love the 50s. I can afford the 50s. My family, we live in the 50s. We can afford the 60s. We can go to the 60s as a cheat meal. 70s is just out of the question. We can't do. We're not a 70s family. We're not. We try to hit those 70s parlays every once in a while. but we're not a set. We don't want to take these people whose standard line is in the 70s. But I will take a 55.5 for Travis Kelce. So sign me up for that. Over 55.5 receiving yards for Travis Kelce. And if he's banned to you, didn't you ban Zay Flowers last week? And this is why, you guys, you just got screwed twice. Because I took Zay Flowers, but I couldn't even give it out to you. Because I can hear, I know some of you don't even say it, but I can just hear the reverberations of your crying. And then he's taking Zay Flowers again. He had 10 yards and 1 catch. Go look at the guy's comments from last week. Good call on Zay Flowers. How can you give Zay Flowers? Well, here's what I did on Zay Flowers this time. Sorry, you cried about it, so then I didn't want to give it out to you just because I just can't. As soon as I see exclamation points or all caps messages, that's it. I'm just going to do that one for myself. But they always do get happy in the end when I take my swing at a Pirate Parlay. And this one's just going to be called the Kareem Hunt Special. I'm going with the alt rushing attempts for Kareem Hunt with a touchdown. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing it. But with a touchdown for Kareem Hunt. He's a great goal line back. He always has been. I think if they get on the 1, they'll give him a crack at it. Pass interference on the 1. Here comes Kareem Hunt right up the middle for a touchdown. I can buy it. And then also the over 12.5 yards receiving for our Monday Night Football same game parlay. That's what I got for you here on a Monday night. Another winning week, unless I truly blow it here on a Monday. But still, because we hit a fat stack on James Cook. So now we are really starting to build, and it's beautiful. Remember when you said, stick to hockey? You're a hockey guy now. Watch. During the first couple of weeks of fake hockey, I'm going to have like a bad week or two, just like every single year in the beginning of the year when none of this stuff is real. The Ducks are going to go on a 10-game winning streak. You're going to go stick to football. Speaking of hockey, we got it starting up this week. Check out the video. When are you going to know when the video is going to drop? How are you going to know? It's very simple. Very simple. Click the notifications. My videos come out at any and every time. You never know unless you click the notification. So do that. And then obviously, look at the views on my channel. There was a guy who commented yesterday like, man, your stuff should be way more out there. Well, there's only one way that can happen. And that's each and every one of you carny rat bastards to like, comment, engage, have a combo about something. One guy, somebody who's reasonable, find another person who's reasonable in the comments, just have a conversation. Like literally throughout the day, just keep going back and forth. Like, oh no, man, I went to Starbucks, they didn't have the new thing. And let's have that stack. Why would you do that? Because as I told you that one time, there is sports betting karma. A sports bettor asks you for a favor, and if you just willfully decline and just take the picks, put them in your back pocket and bet it, we're all losing tonight. We're all losing. The delicate balance of sports betting karma. But do you really want to make Andy happy? You know what you should do. And honestly, you really should, because obviously I don't dish out a whole bunch of deep sea pirate parlays. But do you want to know who is? Every single one of the sniffers in the Patreon chat rooms. Every sport, you name it, just come on. Golf, they probably got a pirate parlay. So go check those out over there. That's also where I post stuff, and you get the notification as soon as I post it in case I find a good line. You don't have to wait till the video comes out and then you're just chasing awful prices. But don't worry if you can't, just for those of you who want to. Anyway, good luck to you. Better luck to me. I will be back with you for opening night NHL. I know I will see you there. Take it easy.